Welcome to Aging Together, a podcast dedicated to exploring the challenges and opportunities of caring for our aging loved ones. This podcast is a product of Caregiver Consulting and Healthy Solutions, a private consulting practice dedicated to helping you navigate the aging process with ease. Together, we will dive into a wide range of topics, including health and wellness, financial planning, caregiving, and more. This podcast is for everyone, whether you are an older adult looking to age in place, a caregiver seeking support and guidance, a young or middle-aged adult planning for the future, or simply someone interested in learning more about the aging process. I hope you'll join me on this journey. Let's navigate aging together. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, Pooja, and you're listening to Aging Together. It's a new month, which means new topics. April is Occupational Therapy Month, which is my true time to shine. It is also Stress Awareness Month and Distracted Driving Month. I will be targeting these themes throughout this month, and this week, we're starting with OT Month. In today's episode, I'm taking a dive into how occupational therapy plays a role in aging. As the global population continues to age, the importance of occupational therapy in supporting the physical, emotional, and social well-being of older adults and their families is becoming increasingly recognized. Occupational therapy practitioners are trained to address the unique needs of older adults, including those related to physical and cognitive decline, chronic conditions, and disabilities. One of the key roles of occupational therapy in supporting aging is to support families and caregivers. As older adults become more dependent on others for their care, families and caregivers may experience increased stress and burnout. Occupational therapists can provide education and training to families and caregivers on topics such as fall prevention, safe transfer techniques, and activities of daily living. They can also work with families and caregivers to develop personalized care plans that address the specific needs of the older adult and the family. In order to support aging adults, families, and caregivers, occupational therapy practitioners use a range of assessment tools and interventions to address the needs of older adults. Occupational therapists assess 9 major areas of occupation in one's daily life. These include activities of daily living, or ADLs, instrumental activities of daily living, IADLs, health management, rest and sleep, education, work, play, leisure, and social participation. For older adults, the focus tends to be on ADLs, IADLs, health management, rest and sleep, work, leisure, and social participation with attention to retirement. Let's take a dive into each of these areas. First up, ADLs and IADLs. Activities of daily living, or ADLs, are activities such as bathing, dressing, grooming, and feeding themselves. These are things that you do every day. Occupational therapists can assess these areas where an older adult may be struggling and then develop interventions or treatment options to address these areas of difficulty. These can include adaptive equipment, environmental modifications, or training in new techniques. Instrumental activities of daily living, IADLs, are more of those complex tasks that you also have to do every day or a few times a week, such as managing medications, shopping, and managing your finances. Occupational therapists can help identify areas of difficulty and then work with the older adult and or the families and caregivers to develop strategies to address these areas of difficulty. These can include simplifying medication regimens, setting up automatic bill payments, or even developing shopping lists and helping with meal planning. Next up, health management. Occupational therapists play a critical role in health and chronic disease management for older adults. As older adults are at an increased risk for developing chronic health conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease, occupational therapists can help them to manage these conditions and improve your overall health and quality of life. To begin with, occupational therapists may conduct assessments to determine the older adult's current health status and any existing chronic health conditions. This may include a review of medical records, an evaluation of the older adult's physical function and mobility, and an assessment of their ability to perform their ADLs. Once the older adult's health status has been assessed, occupational therapists can work with them to develop individualized interventions aimed at improving their overall health and managing their chronic health conditions. This can include recommendations for lifestyle changes, such as changes in diet and exercise, as well as education on proper medication management and monitoring of said health diseases. Occupational therapists may also use therapeutic interventions to help older adults manage their chronic health conditions. For example, they may use cognitive behavioral therapy techniques to help older adults manage their stress and anxiety related to their health conditions. Or they may use mindfulness techniques to help promote relaxation and improve overall health outcomes. In addition to these interventions, occupational therapists may also work with older adults to develop strategies for preventing the onset of chronic health conditions. This may include education on proper nutrition and exercise, as well as recommendations for regular health screenings and monitoring of health status. Next, rest and sleep. Rest and sleep are critical components of health and well-being, particularly for older adults who may be more vulnerable to sleep disturbances and related health conditions. Occupational therapists can play an important role in assessing and addressing rest and sleep for older adults through a variety of interventions. To start, occupational therapists may conduct assessments to determine the factors contributing to sleep disturbances or issues with rest. This may include evaluating the older adult's sleeping environment, daily routines, and overall health status. They may also review any medications that the older adult is taking, as some medications can interfere with sleep. Once the factors contributing to sleep disturbances have been identified, occupational therapists can work with older adults to develop strategies for improving their sleep and rest patterns. This can include recommendations for improving the sleeping environment, such as reducing noise and light levels, using comfortable bedding and pillows, and adjusting the room temperature to promote better sleep. Occupational therapists may also provide education on sleep hygiene and other strategies for promoting restful sleep. This can include recommendations for establishing a regular sleep schedule, avoiding caffeine and other stimulants before bedtime, and developing relaxation techniques to help manage your stress and promote relaxation. In addition to these interventions, occupational therapists may also use therapeutic interventions to address sleep disturbances and rest issues. For example, they may use cognitive behavioral therapy techniques to help older adults address any negative thoughts or anxiety related to sleep, or they may use mindfulness techniques to help promote relaxation and improve sleep quality. Finally, work, leisure, and social participation. Occupational therapists play an important role in helping older adults to maintain engagement in work, leisure, and social participation following retirement. Retirement can be a significant life transition, and occupational therapists can help older adults to navigate this transition and find meaningful ways to stay engaged in these areas. To start, occupational therapists may conduct assessments to determine the older adult's current level of engagement in these areas. This can include an evaluation of their physical function and mobility, as well as an assessment of their interests and preferences related to work and leisure activities. Once the older adult's engagement in work, leisure, and social participation has been assessed, occupational therapists can work with them to develop individualized interventions aimed at maintaining or improving their level of engagement. This may include recommendations for modifying their home environment or assistive tech to support engagement in activities, or education on adaptive strategies for participating in leisure or social activities. Occupational therapists may also use therapeutic interventions to help older adults adjust to retirement and find new opportunities for engagement in work, leisure, and social participation. This may include cognitive behavioral therapy techniques to help older adults adjust to changes in their routine and social support, or interventions to improve self-efficacy and motivation for engaging in new activities. In addition to these interventions, occupational therapists may work with older adults to develop strategies for maintaining social connections and relationships following retirement. This may include education on the benefits of social support for mental health and well-being, as well as recommendations for community-based programs or volunteer opportunities that can provide social engagement and support. There are plenty of other interventions that occupational therapists can also provide to support aging. In addition to these assessment areas, occupational therapy practitioners use a range of interventions to support the needs of older adults. One such intervention is exercise therapy. Exercise therapy can help to improve physical strength, balance, and endurance, which can in turn help to prevent falls and other injuries. Occupational therapists can work with older adults to develop personalized exercise programs that are tailored to their unique needs and abilities. Another intervention used by occupational therapists is cognitive rehab therapy. This therapy helps to improve cognitive function, including memory, attention, and problem-solving skills. Occupational therapists can work with older adults to develop personalized cognitive rehab programs that address their specific areas of difficulty. Occupational therapists can also support older adults in maintaining their independence and quality of life through a range of interventions that address social and emotional needs. For example, they can provide counseling and support to help older adults adjust to changes in their living situation or cope with the loss of a spouse or a loved one. They can also help older adults to stay engaged in meaningful activities such as hobbies and volunteer work that can help to promote mental and emotional well-being. Moving into prevention, preventative care is another important aspect of occupational therapy's role in supportive aging. Occupational therapists can work with older adults to identify potential health risks and develop strategies to reduce their risk of developing chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and osteoporosis. This may include education on healthy lifestyle habits, such as regular exercise, a healthy diet, and stress management techniques. Occupational therapists can also play a role in preventing falls, which are a major cause of injury among older adults. They can assess the older adult's home environment for potential hazards and make recommendations for modifications, such as adding grab bars, improving lighting, and removing tripping hazards. They can also work with the older adult to develop strategies to improve their balance and reduce their risk of falling. Aging in place is an increasingly popular approach for older adults who want to remain in their own homes and communities as they age. Occupational therapy plays an integral role in supporting aging in place by helping older adults to adapt their homes and lifestyles to meet their changing needs. One way that occupational therapists can support aging in place is by conducting home assessments to identify potential safety hazards and barriers to independence. For example, they may assess the home for trip hazards, such as loose rugs or cluttered walkways, and make recommendations for modifications to improve safety. They may also recommend installation of assistive devices, such as grab bars in the bathroom or a stair lift, to help older adults safely navigate their homes. Occupational therapists can also work with older adults to develop strategies for managing activities of daily living in the home environment. This may involve teaching them new techniques or using assistive devices to make tasks such as cooking, cleaning, and bathing easier and safer. They can also provide education and support to help older adults manage their chronic conditions and prevent falls, such as by developing exercise programs and educating them on proper medication management. In addition to these practical interventions, occupational therapists can also provide emotional support to older adults who are aging in place. This may involve counseling and support to help them adjust to changes in their living situation, cope with the loss of a spouse or loved one, or address feelings of isolation and loneliness. Occupational therapy can play an important role in supporting aging in place by helping older adults to remain safe, independent, and connected to their communities as they age. By addressing the unique needs of older adults in their homes and communities, occupational therapy practitioners can help them to achieve their goal of aging in place with dignity and grace. In conclusion, occupational therapy plays a critical role in supporting aging and aging in place by addressing the unique needs of older adults and their families. By providing education, assessment, and interventions that address physical, cognitive, emotional, and social well-being, occupational therapists help older adults to maintain their independence and quality of life as they age. Occupational therapy practitioners can also provide preventative care, identify potential health risks, and work with older adults to reduce their risk of chronic conditions and falls. Through these interventions, occupational therapy can help older adults to age well and live life to its fullest. It's important to note that occupational therapy is not just for older adults who are experiencing decline or disability. It can also be used as a proactive approach to promote healthy aging and prevent problems before they occur. By working with older adults to develop healthy habits and lifestyle choices, occupational therapy can support their overall health and well-being throughout their lifespan. In addition to supporting older adults directly, occupational therapy can also provide support to their families and caregivers. As older adults become more dependent on others for their care, families and caregivers may experience increased stress and burnout. Occupational therapists can provide education and training to families and caregivers to ensure that they are equipped with the skills and knowledge they need to provide quality care to their loved ones. Overall, occupational therapy is an essential part of the healthcare system's response to an aging population. By providing assessment, intervention, and preventative care that addresses the unique needs of older adults, occupational therapy practitioners can support healthy aging and help older adults to maintain their independence and quality of life as they age. Tune in next week for a topic on OT's role in stress management as I combine OT Month with Stress Awareness Month. At Caregiver Consulting and Healthy Solutions, we are dedicated to helping you navigate aging together. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.